These classic butter cookies are tender, buttery, and festive, dipped in chocolate and covered in some festive sprinkles. I just love them. The pipe design is super fun and it makes them even easier to make. Hi, I'm Lindsay from Life, Love, and Sugar, and today we're making a classic butter cookie. All right, so to get started with these cookies, we're gonna add our butter and sugar to our mixer and cream them together for about 3 minutes until they're light and fluffy in color. All right, so once it's gotten light in color and fluffy in texture, we'll go ahead and add our egg, and we'll mix that in. And then I'll actually add the vanilla extract in there as well, and then we'll give everything another mix. All right, so everything is looking nicely combined, so we're gonna go ahead and add our flour and our salt. We'll stir this all together just until it combines. Now we have our cookie dough. The thing we need to think about now is that we're going to want to pipe this cookie dough onto our cookie sheet, so it actually needs to be pipeable. Sometimes I find that when I make it, it's actually wonderfully pipeable just as is. Other times I may need to add a teaspoon or two of milk to thin it out just a smidge so that it's more pipeable. The thing is, you don't want to add milk to it or other liquid if you don't need to, because you don't want to thin out your cookie dough or it won't hold its shape as well when it bakes. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of cookie dough to a piping bag, test it out, see how it is, and only add milk to it if I need to. So when it comes to the piping tip, it actually can make a big difference in how your cookies turn out as far as keeping their shape. After testing quite a few different ones, I found that the Ateco 825 actually worked the best for me. Not only did the ridges hold their shape best, but the cookies didn't spread quite as much. Smaller ones are okay, bigger, not so great. You just don't want these little divots here to be too deep, or you end up with some crazy ridges that just kind of fall over when baking. So if you can, stick with the Ateco 825. That one was my favorite. And then you're basically just gonna pipe a little swirl. All right, now you're gonna wanna pop these in the oven and bake them for about 8 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven. All right, so while your cookies are cooling, we can go ahead and melt our chocolate in the microwave and get that ready for dipping. All right, so when your cookies are cool and your chocolate is melted, it's time to get to dipping. So we'll go ahead and dip a cookie in. I like to dip kind of the end of the swirl into the chocolate and dip them about halfway, and then just shake off the excess. You can set that on some parchment paper to dry and add your sprinkles. These are such a great cookie because not only could you add sprinkles that are festive for Christmas, but you could really do them any time of year for any kind of occasion. You just switch out the sprinkles. All right, so once the chocolate's dry, your cookies are ready to go. They're perfect for your cookie tray for the holidays. They're festive, they're buttery and tender, and so delicious. I hope you love them. For the full recipe, head over to lifeloveandsugar.com.